Hey guys, this is James with Apocalypse Paintball Designs, and I'm putting this video together to show you what you need to do to convert your Gen 1 feed tube to accept the newer Gen 2 and above mounts. Now here I have an unprepped feed tube. This is the Gen 1 style. I obviously haven't attached anything to this yet. This is one of my originals that was supposed to be for the Gen 1. So what you need to do first is, if you see this little hole here, that's the screw pass-through hole. You need to take a piece of tape and, as square as you can, wrap the tape around the tube just past this little hole, so it is right up next to this hole. And that is the proper length in order to chop this tube down and to mate it with the proper barrel. I think this is a Lapco. Lapco 12-inch. So this would be flush with the Lapco barrels if I cut it right there. The actual measurement would be your barrel length plus about 1/8 of an inch for the Gen 2 and the Gen 4s. For the Gen 3, the position of the barrel is a little bit different in the mount because the feed port is further forward. This feed port is further forward, so I'll have to get the actual measurement on these. But it's going to be a little bit shorter. Okay, so after you've taped up your tube, you're just going to take a chop saw or a miter saw or even a hacksaw and files and just cut this portion off right around here and then file it down so it's fairly square. Again, this is going into the mount, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but it should be, shouldn't be too crooked if you can manage. So I'm just going to do that real quick on my saw upstairs, and I will be back. All right, we're up here with the saw. I'm just going to really quickly zip off the end. I'm going to try to get as close as I can, but I don't want to get too close or else I might bite into the tape. Alright, let's see. That's pretty good. It's still square, mostly square. It's about 1/2 millimeter too long, but if I really wanted to, I could file the rest of that down. But for the purpose of this, I don't need it to be exact, so this is pretty much fine. I'm going to take a file to the end just to square it out just a little bit, and then also to bevel the edges here so they don't affect the shell of the paintball. Okay, guys, I'm just going to file a little bit off the end here. Get it smooth, maybe hit it with some sandpaper, also get the inside lid. So I got my sandpaper both on a flat surface popsicle stick and a round dowel. I think this is a 5/8 dowel. Okay, that looks pretty good. And if you're moving from a Gen 1 to a Gen 2, this is about as far as you need to go in terms of cutting the tube. The last step would be to drill a hole through here and tap it for a 6x32 screw. It's not absolutely necessary for the Gen 2s, but it does help, add a little bit of extra security for the tube into the mount. But in reality, I really doubt that you're going to get much outward force that would potentially pull the tube out of the mount while playing. So it's kind of just an extra measure to secure the tube into the mount. But if you are upgrading from a Gen 2, one of my early Gen 2s, or a Gen 1 to the Gen 3 and beyond, you also need to remove this tiny bit of metal here. What I usually do for this is I zip it with a Dremel and then just file down the top and bottom so it's kind of even with this. It doesn't have to be very precise. This is going to also be in the mount, obviously, so you definitely don't have to make it clean. I usually don't bother getting it perfectly level or perfectly smooth, so I'm just going to do that real quick. Alright, I'm going to extend the slot all the way to the end of the tube. that's really all there is to it, aside from drilling that one hole and tapping it. Let me just smooth this out a little bit more. And that looks good to me. Probably won't even have to foul that at all. Okay, so last step. Alright guys, so here's the final part of the upgrade from Gen 1 or Gen 2 to the newest Gen. You can see that inside the mount there's this indexing mark, or indexing pillar, I guess, which will locate the slot here. Alright, so now it's located at the correct orientation here. And last step will be to drill this the tube at this location for the set screw. So I'm just going to take a sharp nail and score the inside so I know where to drill. There you go. Now you have the little drill mark that hopefully you can see. And I'm just going to chuck this in my vise, use my drill press, and drill that. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now let's pop this back in the mount. And the hole lines up pretty well. It might be a little bit further to the too far to the right, but for this purpose it should be okay. Now I'm going to take my 6 by 32 tap and tap them together. Alright. You don't have to go the whole way. You actually want to leave a little bit of taper at the end if you can, so the set screw meets a little resistance as it goes through. I'll grab my set screw. I apologize for the messiness of my work table. I'm kind of a messy builder. And this guy. I just got a little bit of resistance there. I'll probably start Loctiting these, but so long as there's a bit of resistance, it's not really necessary. And I don't really expect this screw to come out anyway, so it should be fine. Okay, so this is good to go. This right here is a Gen 3 fast feed. It's top loading with an automatically closing, magnetically actuated gate. I'll do a more detailed video on this one and put it up a little later. Alright, thanks guys for watching.